Hey everyone, it's me, Cupid83.
And Barbie0913.
And we are here with a brand new show to talk about. It's been a while since we've talked about like a brand new show to us.
True.
So, it's not the usual ones, guys.
No, it's one that just periodically might hit your state.
So, this is the show we went to. It's called NADDA, NADDA, which is the National Antique Doll Dealers Association. And it's an association that started in 1986, and it is for antique doll dealers to basically, like, if you're part of this, you agree to this code of ethics.
On what you're selling, on what your item is.
Exactly. Like, you are saying you're a truthful seller.
Right.
Basically. And, like, you'll tell all the details on the tag, and you'll just be a seller that is trustworthy within the doll collecting world. There are about 50 members, assuming that their membership on their website is up to date. Yeah. So about 50 members, and every year they go to different places, and they allow their vendors to set up shop within the hotel, which my mom can talk more about that. And yeah, that's kind of the show. It's basically shopping.
Yeah.
With a couple different breakouts that I'm still not sure if you're supposed to be a member of NADDA to do, or if anyone that goes to the actual convention can do.
Yeah, if you pay to come in or pay for your gas,
right,
that you're still a part of it. Not quite sure.
There's still a little bit of weirdness that we're unsure about.
Right.
Yeah. So explain the setup.
Well, if you ever went to the convention, this is one of the hotels that has that really kind of square look to it. It's a big giant square with the elevator on the one end. That's what the place is, but it has like a big window in your room.
Which is the weirdest window.
It's
so weird.
You guys don't remember it. When you used to go for Mother's Day and you'd go to a hotel, that was the kind of hotel there was, and then you could see that big window. So there's a big window, and it's basically looks like a showcase window. So people that come to it have to find a way that they want to set up their little store, basically. Because it's
not like a vendor area. You sell in your room. It's room sales.
Yeah, I love room sales.
Yeah, so much fun.
So if you ever went to the convention...
Or the Barbie convention.
Or the convention, though.
Yeah, but yeah.
If you went to the convention, that hotel is the one that they used. So if you were local, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. It's a great hotel for that sort of thing. It's super easy to find what rooms are actually selling.
Yeah, it is. Because they usually take one floor. And it was different.
Yeah, so for this show, I think there were like 18 vendors maybe. So I don't know if that's normal or not, because it's the first time we remember it coming to the area. So about 18 different rooms that we could walk through. Antique dealers, so I think their cutoff was 1950 is what I want to say overheard in one of the rooms. But you had 1950 and earlier. And you also saw like Barbies from 59 and some other things that were just tossed in the rooms that probably didn't adhere to that 1950s.
But you had people coming in from out of state, which was nice. Something different to see that we don't see.
Yeah, a lot of vendors that don't go to the King County doll shows.
Well, you are right.
Because they don't live here.
They don't live here.
So it was super nice to see some different dolls.
Different dolls, like a lot of the 100-year-old dolls, which you see in the magazine, and that's about it. That's at least me.
The French dolls.
Right, and they're, we only have like 1-2 people that come to the King County, basically. But, so it was nice to see beautiful outfits up close on dolls.
What would have been nicer, is if some of those vendors had more affordable prices on some things. But I get it. They're antique dolls. They were in, like, pristine condition. None of them were, like, fixer-uppers.
No,
they were all, like 10 out of 10 in quality. But prices were a little high.
And that's part of why you need that code of ethics, so
Right.
that everybody feels they're comfortable with it.
Yeah. I did see some people writing checks. So.
Well, and you also said that people that were going and buying things basically made it. How do you explain it?
Yeah, so I was talking to someone had seen the show in the past because there weren't a lot of people walking around the rooms while we were walking around them. And I'd heard some people talking about how they didn't have a lot of a crowd. So there was that. So I talked to someone and was like, so like, is this normal? Like, is this a low crowd? Like, what's the vibe? Like, how is it this year? And what I got was that basically, like, you know, if they can get like 100 people, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
But like, even if that seems few, like the people that do come, they're willing to spend the money on the antique dolls. So you could have like 10,000 people come, but if they're not willing to spend the money, like what's the point?
Right.
But like, even though they had a smaller crowd at this NADDA show,
Right.
the people that do go are more dedicated and like they're interested in buying.
So they're spending more money, but it's all balances out.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, I hope it picked up. Because we left and there were still a couple hours left.
I did see more people come in because they were going onto that floor.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty good to see some people come in.
Yeah. And there's an anime convention in town as well.
Yeah.
So I'm just hoping that people in cosplay went to these rooms and, like, introduced that whole thing to some of these dealers. Because I'm sure some of them would be like, what's wrong with these people? I'm hoping that happens.
Well, yeah. I kind of, back in the back of my head, was thinking that too. So.
But it was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
We saw some fun things.
Right. And I was hoping to buy something, you know, like something old that's in beautiful shape. But of course I didn't bring enough money for that.
Yeah. I mean, so I don't really collect antique dolls that are that far back. Like mine, I don't even think the 1930s. I don't even think is considered antique yet, which is basically as far back as I've gone. And like the big bisque dolls aren't as interesting to me, and like the French dolls, I think they're cute.
I think to have at least one.
Yeah, one was nice, but like they're not like my aesthetic so much. Like I don't need them. So for me, I was going mostly to see like one room, which was the antique Japanese dolls. And I was ready to spend money there. And it was like so cool to see them in person because it was Alan Scott Pate's room, and he's big into it, like Ningyo, like Japanese antique dolls. And of course, you know, if you watch Channel, like I have, you know, I like that style doll.
You do.
I have an affinity for it, right? But I don't have any of the stuff that like he ever shows on his Facebook page. So I was like, if there's something affordable and like a little more than I usually spend, I'll do it, because we don't have many doll shows until September at this point. So I have time to make up more money for future shows. But of course, the most affordable thing in his room was like $1,000, which was a little more than my budget.
Just a little. Just a little. It's only like knocking out kindergarten and first grade and second grade or
Just
something.
a little bit. And I was like, oh, but I'm so super glad that I got to see them in person. And got to talk to him. He was a super nice dude.
He was very nice. Like you said, it was a different kind of vibe. Usually you're all in one big giant room and kind of are talking to each person back and forth. And this, you were in the little small rooms, your room, your hotel room. And he goes, it was different.
Yeah. Super nice guy.
Yeah, he was very nice.
So I, of course, was like, well, if you have anything that's cheaper down the line, please let me know, because I'm like an interested buyer. Literally anything.
A fangirl.
I am a fangirl. Just like, please, like anything. Because they don't come to our shows. So, like, literally, this is the guy to talk to about them.
Right.
And he also does a tour of Ningyo in Japan. Like, you go to Japan and go to all the stops that are doll themed. And I'm like, that seems amazing.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember reading one of those articles on that.
So cool, really, right? He just has to add the Hello Kitty Land to it, and it's like, I'm sold. Just add that, and I'm in. So that was what I was excited about.
So that's what she's saving up for.
Yeah. So I was, you know, hopefully one day that comes to be. But so I have to do a pun here, and I apologize. So that's why I left with NADDA. Because everything was out of my price range, and also the one thing I wanted was definitely out of my price range.
Right. What did we see? We saw the slim French dolls where they have the box of all their wardrobe in them. There was one, it was beautiful doll, and it had like 3 different openings of all different things for her to wear. Gorgeous. So many gorgeous. I mean, I'm not as fond of the boy dolls on that line, but the ones with the curls around their hair, the porcelain ones, those I would like to have just one.
Yeah.
Just one pretty one. They had a couple of people that did some Alexanders in there. They were expensive.
A few, I kind of
Very
expected
few.
more, because you would think there'd be more composition dolls, at least for the 1920s and 30s, up to the 50s.
Yeah.
So, like, you would think there have been more. Again, there was, like, no F&B composition. Like, some of that stuff, are the R&Bs? No R&Bs.
No R&B, but there were some F&B. The one lady that had the table.
Oh, the honey, I guess.
Yeah, the honey.
The honey was there.
The honey was there.
But, like, no R&Bs, which are really pretty dolls, and people ignore them. Not a lot of Madame Alexander, so I expected actually more. I thought there'd be at least one vendor that was, like, all in on the composition stuff.
Yeah. But it's okay.
It's fine.
We've got our show, and a lot of times they're at our show.
Yeah, but they're not pristine.
No, they're not pristine. You're right. A lot of people just leave them really in bad condition and then just charge us for it.
Not a lot of the big bisque dolls, but in hindsight, you probably can't travel well with them.
Yeah. I mean, they did have some. They had a few that were holding all the other little dolls on them. They were so cute.
Yeah.
They were pretty. Beautiful eyes on them. So German, French dolls.
Yes.
What else did we see? A lot of the little tiny ones. The little ones that are like that big.
Mm-hmm.
Like
kind
of like dollhouse ones, but not quite.
I feel like that's like the vast majority of what we saw.
And I know one lady had mentioned, she was talking to somebody else, and I'm right in the same room, and she said that it's not about selling, it's about coming and seeing your friends that you've met all this time and getting back together again.
Yeah.
So.
Which is great. And
that is good.
With it being, like, if the website's true, if there's only 50 of these members...
They're very close.
Like, they would be really close, because you would see the same, like, core group of people all the time.
Mm-hmm. Husbands and wives.
Yeah. A couple of people are like, don't talk to me, I'm just the husband. Like,
That's fine.
but they were all really nice.
Right, they were.
Super friendly.
And we had Piper with us, so it was interesting. People were all excited, the little kid.
Yeah.
Walking around.
Yeah, she got a lot of attention.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of the show. I mean, I guess it is still considered a show even if there's like less than 20 vendors. But yeah, if it's in your area, even if you're not maybe into the antique dolls, but you're just a doll collector, I do think it might be worth going to.
I think everybody should just at least see one.
And it was free.
It was free. Yeah.
It's free admission.
Yeah.
You walk into people's hotel rooms.
And it's on one of those little brochure ones. I don't have it over here. But that usually you get the little brochure, and usually I see that, and I go, oh, it's something, it's probably far away, and it's not going to be near me. And then I thought, wait a minute, that said Chicago on there.
That says Rosemont.
Yeah. So it was like, look, there's something coming.
Yeah, I'm glad we got to go. Because it was good, and we got to, like I said, like my mom said, we got to see a bunch of stuff we don't generally see. And right now, like, I feel like our doll shows, we see a lot of the same stuff. And
I did want to get a few things. I picked up a couple things, but they're not any those fancy things.
I mean, I wanted to pick something up, but
I'm like, well, what are you going to talk about?
I'll talk about what I got for Mother's Day.
Okay.
So I will talk about something.
All right.
Because it's on theme with what I wanted to buy.
Yeah,
it's just this is the placeholder for what hopefully will be there in the future.
Yeah. You could find somebody who can string them better.
I don't even know if people do that. It's fine. Let's be gentle.
Just be gentle. That's good.
So my mom has 2 items. I have 1. Any final thoughts about the show before we get into the haul?
Oh, okay. No, it was just a very interesting show. I mean,
Yeah.
it's interesting how people set up their rooms, how they,
Yeah.
what they were, how many kind of knew each other. And it was nice to hear a few people. They were kind of getting a little lesson in dolls while they were looking, because they wanted to do something with dolls
Yeah.
and hadn't done it. And it was nice to see that. I mean, and that's basically what you try to do. You try to get more people involved in the doll collecting world. And it was nice to hear somebody
Yeah.
say they were all happy. Everybody was happy, except the
Yes.
dog that didn't like us.
Yeah, no, the dog that didn't like Piper specifically. Yeah, because I think you run a risk of, sometimes people assume, and this could just be me, that antique doll dealers, like the ones that sell the very expensive stuff, are like hoity-toity, you know, think like more of themselves. But everyone was like down to earth and like super friendly. So.
Oh, there was that one booth I wanted to get back to, and I never ended up on the other side. The Carver booth.
Oh yeah.
With the wooden dolls.
Where they carved them.
Yeah, they carved them. I thought that would have been kind of cool to hear again.
Yeah.
But I missed her.
Well,
Her and
next
her
time.
husband. That's okay.
But yeah, it was good. So if it's in your area, check it out. Like I said, it's free. You really can't go wrong. So definitely check it out, even if you're not into antique dolls, because it was a good time.
Yeah, it was.
So we have a couple things to show you. Not a lot.
No. All right. I've got to
No antique Japanese dolls.
No.
At least
no
not
antique.
from nothing earlier than 1930.
I've got to re-glue you. Gigi and Sherry's store was there, and so you stay in your own backyard because she was more affordable to get something from her.
Isn't it ironic?
I have to get her pate glued on a little bit, and her wig glued on the pate. So.
She's really cute.
But she's really pretty. And I thought, well, that's at least a china size, cabinet size doll.
Yeah.
Because I can't have any more big giant stuff unless I find that. Well, they did have a Shirley Temple.
Yeah.
That big one, but I couldn't afford it.
No.
But I thought she was pretty. She's a Revor. Did we say Revor?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I haven't researched her. I mean, doll collecting to me, it's like you could do history stuff and find out and learn things, and to me that's the fun part of it.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Also in Sherry and Gigi's booth is a Saucy Walker. I have a Saucy Walker, and this is another one that was kind of like a mint. She does need her hair conditioned, but her eyes are in really good shape. My other one, you have to kind of like poke them sometimes and pull them a little back, which is something they do with Saucy Walkers. But she has a jacket and another outfit to go with her, and I thought she was cute. She was affordable, and she's basically my time zone. So
Yeah,
she was
really
cute. Now you can talk about you.
So obviously I didn't buy anything at this show.
No.
Not for lack of trying, but
Right.
it's fine. It's all good.
Piper got something.
Piper got a penguin,
Yeah.
a stuffed penguin.
Yeah.
Not antique, which is fine with me. So I'll just talk about something I got this weekend. I still owe my mom her Mother's Day gift, which now in hindsight I'm like, I should have just bought something from the show we went to, but hindsight, man. So something will come for my mother eventually,
Eventually. That's okay.
and then
That's all right.
it'll be fine.
That's okay.
But the girls picked up this cutie for me for Mother's Day. He's adorable. So this is like an Ichimatsu Japanese doll. And they're just so cute. He's just adorable. He's pretty big. I like the big ones. Because they have such like adorable faces. Like, look at this cute face.
It is.
It's adorable, guys. Apparently it was found at the flea market. Which is great. to find something like that there. But I just love like the delicate painting on like the eyebrows, and like the eyes, how they did that. And he's actually in pretty good shape. Like there's a little scratch on like the side of his face, and his leg has some.
He has a boo-boo.
He has a boo-boo, but that's okay. It's still fine. You can't even see it under the outfit here. Mm-hmm. So this was my Mother's Day gift. And then I asked to Alan, Scott Pate, when I was in his room, because I don't know anything about when these are from, because no one really puts it on the tag, right?
Right.
No one really, truly, probably they don't know either. And he said that this was from, I want to say 1933.
Something like
yeah,
that.
I think it was 1933 when they tried to make the Ichimatsu Nino dolls like more cutesy, was what I took from it. But yeah, that happened around 1933-ish. And he was kind enough to point me in the direction of the person that would have sculpted it. So I have that information, and I'll save that all for a video because I just want to look it up and see if I can get more details and stuff. And I'll just take all my Japanese dolls out and show them to you guys in a future video. Because even I would like to know more. But yeah, a lot of what I have apparently is like 1930s, which is good to know. Mm-hmm. But this guy's so cute. Like, I don't even care when he's from. He's adorable. I love him.
He's a big face.
I know. And his eyes look so pretty and kind. Mm-hmm. He'll fit in very well.
Yeah, I love
with
the eyes.
my little family here. I think I just need a girl in this size. Assuming this is supposed to be a boy, which I think it is.
Yeah.
I don't have a girl. I have 3 big boys. No girls.
Just because they're so easy to look for. Usually the other one is a little stiff on the hair, so it's easier to find one like him.
Yeah, so this is super cute. I love it. Thank you.
You're welcome from your kids.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know who bankrolls them, so. So that's it. That's what we got. Mm-hmm. I mean, technically I left with like a parking lot bill for $20.
Yeah.
And I bought lunch for us, so that was another $50.
It's free to get in, but you have to pay for parking.
Yeah, depending on the hotel, of course.
Yeah, unless you want to walk around in Rosemont area somewhere.
Yeah. So it probably won't be back in Rosemont for a while, but it was nice to be able to get to see it.
Yeah, it was. I agree.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess.
I think isn't the next one is, well, Puddle. Did anybody go into Puddle?
Yes.
No?
I am.
Good. Okay. And then the other one we have
Naperville.
So
the next one.
So Naperville, yeah. We'll see what they have.
Yes, and then it's a King County toy show. In July. And then I think it's like September for the rest of them. So we have 2 more shows plus Puddle for the summer, and then it's waiting for fall. So there's a bunch of stuff. If you're in the Chicagoland area, check out these shows. Bring your friends, have some fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
So if you have any questions, you can leave them down in the comments. Let us know if you also went to this show, if you found anything cool, if you're into antique dolls, like what era of antique dolls, what like type of doll do you collect. It would be super fun to know because sometimes you guys collect things that like I have never heard of, and so then we go and we look them up and we find things to also start looking for. So
you always need something else to keep on buying.
Exactly. So share what you collect so you can, inform others of what is out there, because I think that's also the fun thing about antique doll collecting. There's a lot of stuff out there.
It's the hunt.
Yeah. So we will talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.